Alright, folks, Doc Phoenix back with all the Marios. Today we are starting a new game, Mario Tennis, for the Nintendo 64.
I see Camelot is back.
Yeah, these are the same developers that made Mario Golf. Much like Mario Golf, this also has a Game Boy Color game that you can transfer pack link with. This game has some implications for Mario continuity. Also, this opening cutscene has dialogue. Like, they're actually speaking.
Birdo's there.
Yeah, Birdo is there. Daisy was there.
Who are these people?
Silhouettes are there. Daisy. We haven't seen Daisy since freaking NES Open Tournament Golf. So suddenly she is back and here and involved.
Here from Sarasa Land or wherever.
I mean, that is the place that she is the princess of.
Yeah.
Suddenly. Could it be? Yeah, I could not hear what he said there. But Luigi's not impressed. So hey, Waluigi! New character! Mysterious character! Just randomly, there's a Luigi version of Wario now. Introduced in a tennis game. And they're all being growling at each other.
What the?
What is that? Bowser brought a boo. Not like a king boo or anything, just a random boo.
DK was there.
Bowser just wants to play.
What's going on here?
Mario, in his graciousness, allows Bowser to play. And someone let a bomb on the field. Court. Whatever. Mamma mia.
There was a terrorist accident.
So yeah, this is Mario Tennis. You can see on the title screen here that we didn't see in the cutscene. This game also has the return of inexplicably time-traveling Baby Mario. But, yeah, so this game... I have actually already played a bit of this game, but it's been a while. We haven't had time to really sit down together and do a recording session, so I knew that there would be a lot of grinding involved in this, and I started up on my own. This game has problems.
Oh?
This game does not have a tutorial.
Oh.
It desperately needs a tutorial. Like, after going through... What is it now? 18 tournaments? 24 tournaments? I finally feel like I have a decent grasp of how the game goes. I'm just kind of looking at options here. It's just the options screen, you know, our records and whatnot, but... Here's our character roster. 2 characters are not available. They're unlockable. I'm kind of surprised because there's also, you can transfer the characters over from the Game Boy game, but, like, there's not a space anywhere on here for those characters. So, and, like, even in the results screen, the status screen, there wasn't a space for them, so I'm wondering how that's going to end up looking. Paratroopa is tricky. There's just a random Koopa Paratroopa there, playing tennis.
And he was invited, unlike apparently Bowser.
Yeah.
Unless that was all performative.
Possibly. But, there is, in this game, you've got singles and doubles matches that you can do. And each character has, like, a default doubles partner. So, Mario and Luigi, Wario and Waluigi, Baby Mario with Yoshi, Bowser with that Boo, Peach and Daisy, and I think Donkey Kong is with that Koopa Paratroopa?
Who's with Birdo?
Was with Birdo. It was Toad? Possibly?
Weird.
Anyway, here's, starting up tournament with Mario. You can kind of see, normally Mario is the referee at all of the matches, but if Mario is playing the match, then, his replacement Blue Mario takes over. Yeah, there's just a Blue Mario now. I don't know who it is, I don't know why. Anyway, you start up a tournament, and you get a tournament bracket. You get 8 competitors, and they come together, and, like, it actually randomly determines the winner when the 2 CPU characters face off, so, you know, it gets randomized who you end up facing each time you play the tournament. So, tennis.
Yeah.
So, like, the basics of tennis itself as a sport, I should probably explain, because it's weird.
Okay.
So, you know, the basic idea is you're hitting this ball back and forth. You need to... If you miss the ball, then the opponent gets a point, is basically it. Like, it gets 1 bounce. On a second bounce, it's a miss. If you hit the ball out of bounds, your opponent gets a point. And the lines indicate boundaries of various types. A tennis match is divided into sets, which are divided into games. Most of the tournament matches are 1 set. So, you know, that at least it simplifies that. But all of the championship matches are 3-set matches. So, a game goes up to... Like, I guess it's technically 5 points? Scoring in tennis is stupid. Your first point puts you up at 15, and your second up to 30, and then your third up to 40? And then from 40, if you get another point, you win, unless the opponent is also at 40 points, in which case, you, when you get a point, get advantage. And if you get another point while you have advantage, then you win. But if you don't, if the opponent gets the point, then you both go back to 40. Meaning the match could just go on forever.
Right, until somebody gets advantage and then a win.
Yes. So, that's a game. When you finish a game, you go to the next game in the set, and you switch who's serving. The same player serves for the entirety of 1 game. A set is up to 5 games, and you need to have 2 wins more than your opponent to win the set. So, or like it's best of 5 technically, or no, sorry, it's weird. If you win the first 2, it's if you have 2 wins more than your opponent. So, if you win the first 2 games of the set, then you win the set. If your opponent wins 1, and then you win 2, you need to win a third to win the set. If you both win 2 matches, or 2 games, then there's a tiebreaker game, which goes up to 7 points? The tiebreaker game works the same as the other games, in that if you're both at 6 points, you still need to get advantage. Tennis is stupid.
Were they just making it up?
I don't know. Tennis is like... It's basically a more active version of golf, in that it's what rich people play. And so, of course, it has a bunch of convoluted bullshit rules. So...
Well, I mean, golf at least makes sense in that you take strokes at a ball.
Yeah.
In this, why is there love?
Yeah, I have no idea why 0 is called love. That's what love is when they're announcing scores. If somebody has 0, they will say love instead of 0. Except in a tiebreaker match. In which case they will just say, oh. For it. By the way, Luigi throws a tantrum when he loses.
Come on, Luigi.
So the actual playing of this game. So, you move around with your control stick on the court, and you push either A or B to swing at the ball. When you swing, you will sort of, sometimes, kind of, gravitate towards the ball if you're close enough. And, like, sometimes you will dive for the ball. I don't know exactly what circumstances that is in, what causes that. There's a lot about this game that I don't fully understand, I feel like. Just, like, the correlation between the buttons that you push and... Oh, by the way, you can just beam the opponent, and that's valid. It's entirely valid to just hit the opponent directly in the face, and then that scores you a point. But yeah, the correlation between the buttons that you push and what happens in the game is a little bit weird and not entirely clear. Again, this game desperately needs a tutorial. Like, I've read the manual several times through, and what I understand from that, so A and B are different types of strokes. A is more of a high shot, B is more of a low shot. There are also combos. If you press A and B at the same time, that's a smash shot, which is like a heavy shot that's kind of aimed downwards. Except sometimes if you're farther back, then it doesn't aim downwards. Because, like, it kind of automatically aims a bit. Like, when you hit the ball, while you are hitting the ball, the direction that you push on the control stick determines how you aim. And it's, like, not relative to your own position, it's relative to the center of the court. So, you know, if you are pushing right, then the ball will go towards the right side of the court. Even if the ball is to your left. Or even if you're already on the right side of the court. Like, if you are on the far right of the court, and you hit the ball holding right, it will go left, towards the right edge of the valid playfield. Except not always perfectly, because you can still hit the ball out of bounds. I don't know what affects that. There are two other types of shots that if you push B and then A, or A and then B, that you either get a lob shot, which is a very high arc, like aiming to the back, or a drop shot, which goes like just a little bit and is aimed to drop just past the net. I never use those. I don't really understand how they work. I barely understand how the other shots work. Supposedly, if you double tap, you get like a stronger version of the shot sometimes.
So what you're saying is the game doesn't explain itself.
The game does not explain itself. The manual does not explain the game sufficiently. It desperately needs a tutorial and does not have anything even approaching a tutorial.
So what you're saying is the game is bad.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, like I said, I've kind of gotten a feel for it. Like, the first couple of tournaments were really rough. It took me a long time, because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. The last couple of ones that I've done, I have gone a lot more smoothly. And I think part of it might just be that Mario is bad. You know, Mario was the first character I played. He's, you know, the first one in the roster, so he's the all-rounder, which means he's too slow to chase after the ball a significant distance, but too weak to hit the ball in a way that the opponent won't be able to catch up with. And he just doesn't really have any strengths. So, I think that may have been part of it. I don't know. Again, I don't know. what... Half of the time when I lost a point, I didn't actually know what I did wrong.
Uh-huh.
That's the biggest problem that I have with this game.
So,
Also-
similar to the problems I have with Mario Party.
Yeah. Also, the fact that this game... This is the very first time I have encountered a game that requires intense focus, concentration, and fast reflexes, and also fucking puts me to sleep. This game is boring! Tennis is boring!
I mean...
And
yes.
it's just so long!
It's
So long!
analog Pong.
Yeah. Oh, what other game mechanics things can I even talk about?
What are these power shots that are, like, charged up?
So, okay, when you see the trail behind the ball, that is supposed to be the effect of when you double tap the button. Also, an important thing that I never really feel like I have control over, that the manual says, that is the only place I saw this mentioned, is that the height of the ball when you hit it affects how hard your shot is, how powerful the shot is. That, like, if it's too low, you get a very weak shot. And, like, the perfect height varies by character. And, like, that's the one of the big things that makes it hard for me to really figure out what the fuck's going on with this, because there is this mechanic that I feel like I can't control very well, because a lot of the time, I don't really have the time and opportunity to choose where I'm hitting the ball and how high it is when I reach it. Because I frequently need to just rush for where the ball is going and just hit it with whatever I can. So, just... It's a very opaque system, and it's very difficult to figure out. And there's a lot of variables that are not explained, and variables that you don't really have control over. Also, there are a couple of different courts, like varieties of court, and each of the different... When you finish the first tournament, the Mushroom Cup, you do get another, you move on to the next tournament. And the next tournament has a different court, and each court applies different attributes to how the ball moves.
Okay.
And, you know, there's 3 tournaments, and the third tournament, the court makes the ball move faster.
Okay.
If I'm not, like, fully awake and alert, the ball moves too fast for me to really react to. Like, I will frequently miss the first shot, like, returning a serve on that court
Wait,
with slower characters.
if it's a serve, then does it even hit the court?
Well, a serve has to hit a specific area of the court, otherwise it's a fault. That's a tennis rule. You
Okay.
serve, like, when you serve, you have to hit it into the opposite side of the court, and it has to land within, like, it needs to land within the field.
Okay.
If it goes too far, it's a fault. If it doesn't go to the opposite side of the field from where you're starting, it's a fault. If it touches the net, it's a fault. So, like, there is a small area where you know the serve has to reach for it to be valid. Relatively. Because it's only, like, the first bounce that needs to hit in, and if it bounces in the valid zone and then careens off towards out of bounds, you still need to hit it.
Right.
Because it's only... If it goes out of bounds after the first bounce, that's still your responsibility to hit it. Tennis is weird. Tennis is complicated, and I don't like it. I've had problems every time we've encountered tennis in this series, so,
Isn't this the first time we've encountered tennis?
No! This is like the third time. Fourth time.
Wait, when was there tennis?
We had tennis on the NES. We had tennis on the Game Boy. We had tennis on the Virtual Boy.
Oh, yeah.
This is the fourth tennis game. The fourth Mario tennis game.
But not the 64.
No.
Yoshi.
No. I don't think I have much else to say about tennis.
Well, that's going to be a problem for the whole series, as you need to demonstrate everything?
So, okay, things in this game. You need to beat all of the tournaments with all of the characters for unlocks. This I know.
Okay.
So, I'm going to be doing that in much the same way that I did the ring shot courses in golf.
Okay.
In that it's just going to be showing off the tournament, no commentary.
Uh-huh.
Because I have nothing to say about tennis. So, we're going to have some videos of just some tennis matches for you to watch if you enjoy tennis. Mostly, I'm going to be putting them up just because this is going to take a fair amount of time for me to get through. So, if I don't do that, I won't have any videos for a while. So, that's how this game is going to go. There are a couple of other game modes, but as far as I am aware, there's not really unlocks involved with them. Like, there's one mode that has an unlock involved that I'll look into later, but most of it is just the tournaments. So that's what most of the this game is going to be that we'll see. So we'll do all of the tournaments, and then afterwards we'll have like one, maybe two videos of multiplayer and secret stuff and the other game modes that will come in. For the rest of this video, I want to talk about Waluigi.
That's fair.
So, Waluigi just randomly shows up. The manual says nothing about Waluigi. There is nothing in the game that explains Waluigi. Nothing anywhere explains Waluigi. He just is. He's just there. This, what appears to be a Luigi version of Wario.
Right.
Now, you might think that, you know, we know that Wario is a weird fey dream creature.
Right.
You might think that Waluigi is as well. I don't. I don't think so.
Okay.
Because, okay, we know how Wario came to be. You know,
Right.
he formed a connection with Mario when Mario was a kid living in the Mushroom World. And tormented him in his dreams. And, you know, there was the period afterwards where Mario moved to Earth and lost the connection, and then came back to Subcon and beat him up, and then things came back, and then Wario escaped the dream world, and now he's here. Luigi wasn't tormented by anything as a child. There's nothing that mentions Luigi had any kind of similar dream creature connection.
Right.
So either he had this connection, but nobody knew because he didn't act out over it like Mario did, or Waluigi isn't a fey dream creature connected to Luigi like Wario is to Mario.
Huh.
So, another thing that we know about Wario is that he is the shadow president of the Mushroom Kingdom Gaming Commission.
We know that, yes.
And, you know, he recently brought golf to the Mushroom World. Because, you know, he became wealthy and known as a wealthy person on Earth. And, you know, started playing golf because that's what wealthy people do on Earth when they hobnob with other wealthy people. So, you know, Wario found golf and realized that he could bring it to the Mushroom World and make a lucrative business of golf out of it. Now, I think that Wario then went looking for the next sport to bring over. And he found tennis. So while Wario is playing tennis and learning it and, you know, getting an understanding of it so he can import it, he meets this other guy. Over here right now, I'm just, like, looking at some things because I'm having some trouble. This is all you get for controls, by the way.
Slice.
I have a lot of trouble controlling when I'm on the back court, but there is a camera option that you can set to always be on the bottom, to always be on the bottom court. The camera will always be behind you. Anyway, so Wario meets this guy who he thinks, hey, this guy kind of looks like Luigi. And, you know, they become friends through, like, playing tennis, possibly just hobnobbing as wealthy individuals. And Wario, you know, approaches him with, like, to be partners in bringing tennis over. And also, hey, what if you dressed up like an evil version of this Luigi, and then we could be, like, a team of the evil versions of these Mario Brothers? Because, you know, Earth knows about the Mario Brothers. Mario had his tell-all interview. So they're like a famous known quantity. And, you know, this guy, he's wealthy, he's bored, he thinks this is a fun idea, so he goes with it. And, in fact, I think he was more in charge of the actual business of bringing tennis here than Wario was, because Wario kind of got trapped on an adventure for a while.
It's true, he was in a music box.
So, you know, that's what Wario has been doing most recently, while, you know, Waluigi sitting back as his business partner was continuing the, you know, everything necessary to bring tennis to the Mushroom World. Getting courts built, getting hype built, advertising, getting all of the stuff ready for the tournament.
Okay.
So that is my theory of Waluigi. He is just some guy, some rich guy from Earth, who dresses like Luigi for fun to play off of Wario's mimicry of Mario. We will see as things go how that ends up fitting.
Yeah.
But
this theory is valid.
I am vaguely aware that Waluigi only really ever shows up in, like, sports games. He never really has adventures. So that's part of why I feel this, because he's just a rich guy, he's not an adventurer. He just likes playing sports and pretending to be an evil Luigi.
So here's a thought. To add to this theory that he's a businessman or former businessman from Earth.
He probably still is a businessman, just sometimes comes here.
What if he was actually an unsuccessful businessman? And when he was approached by Wario, this actually successful businessman with this plot to build tennis, he goes along with it, becomes this business partner with him, and then arranges an accident for Wario. While he's going out traveling on his aeroplane, he mysteriously crashes. It looks like my business partner's gone, I take over all of these assets.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Like, the previous theory we had for Wario's plane sabotage, because it seems clear his plane was sabotaged, was that it was Mario, because they got angry about the whole Mario Land thing, with Wario saying it should be Wario Land. But that was all a big performance, so that wouldn't really fit. This actually, yeah, I like this theory. This fits really well. And, you know, whether or not Waluigi was a successful or failed businessman is irrelevant to this. He could have just been, you know, greedy.
It's
and going
true.
for it to stop.
Greedy and evil.
Yeah. Anyway, when you beat a tournament, you get a little, like, animation of the character with the trophy.
Oh. Oh no!
Wario shows up, and Mario is not allowed to keep his trophy. And he just kind of slowly descends. Oh. And then you get, it saves your thing, and you get the opportunity to move on to the next tournament. So, that's it for us today. Tomorrow we'll be starting the next tournament with Mario. And,
Flower Cup.
it's gonna be, just tournaments for a bit. So, see you in a while, folks.